off-the-cuff video just because I know this is something that Canucks fans might want to listen to, you know? So yesterday we had the Winnipeg Jets and the Canucks. Canucks lost 2-0, they were not great, and Nils Höglander and Derek Forbort were the two guys that went out there and made headlines afterwards. Because Höglander earlier in the game kind of had a high hit on Forbort that Forbort didn't like. There was no penalty on the play, so Forbort, what does he do? He goes over to Höglander, he cross-checks him 3 times, takes the guy down. No penalties on the play as well. Later in the game, Forbort gets a penalty, a delayed penalty, mind you, on Nils Höglander with like 40 seconds left in the third period when the Jets are up 2-0. It's not really all that significant because the Canucks are kind of down and out. You can tell that they're demoralized when they're playing here. But after the whistle goes, Forbort goes over and he charges over onto Höglander, piles on top of him, causes the rest of the Canucks to react. They all pile on top of each other as well, and for some reason it ends up 4-on-4 because, I don't know, there was some roughing going on, somebody had their gloves off, there were other things going on there, when really it should have been, at the very least, in my opinion, a 5-on-4 or a 5-on-3, because the way it goes down, I think it was explained very nicely on Reddit earlier, Höglander drew a penalty. Okay, cool. That's a 5-on-4. Forbort then charged onto Höglander and caused everything else to happen. That's an instigator penalty at the very most, should be 5-on-3. And afterwards, all the penalties of all the other guys charging on top of each other should have canceled each other out, ending things off with a Vancouver Canucks power play. But you know what? That's not how it happened. The refereeing has been very consequential this year, but you know what? It's fine. I'm over it. It's a day forward. But I'm not even going to talk about that, you know? We talked about that already. You get it. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about Canucks fans, because Canucks fans, like, I can't believe that we're still doing this, guys. Please. Come on. You guys got to stop going over onto Instagram pages of players that do bad things to the Canucks and just absolutely start going off on them in the comments and flooding their notifications. Like, I know I'm probably not really one to say, oh, I'm gonna sympathize with big athletes and do this and do that because they should be immune to criticism or whatever. That's not what I'm doing here. It's just a trend that Vancouver Canucks fans do all the gosh darn time that gets so excessive and it's so annoying and it puts a really bad label on this fan base. We saw this with Jesperi Kotkaniemi in 2018-19? Something like that, where Kotkaniemi took down Elias Pettersson and he took him out with a knee injury. That was terrible, because that was completely innocent. Kotkaniemi apologized, Pettersson accepted the apology, he said it was not really all that big of a deal, and Canucks fans went over onto Kotkaniemi's Instagram and started calling him wretched things in the comments over and over and over again. That's not me being a Habs fan and trying to defend my guy, Kotkaniemi, but this same thing happened with Danick Martel, when the Troy Stecher thing happened, where he just absolutely unfairly, blindsidedly hit Troy Stecher. Now that one got me really mad, but I didn't want to go over onto the Instagram page and start commenting these really nasty things. Same thing with this Derek Forbort situation. I can understand why he was really upset as to what happened, but the way he went about solving that was really whack. He already got 3 cross-checks in there. Sure, they weren't called, so what right does he have to go out there and charge over onto a Nils Höglander, who is just out here trying to do his thing and play as a pest? Because we know that's what Höglander is. He's been a pest the entire time he was scouted and playing last year in the SHL. May I remind you that Nils Höglander isn't really all that clean of a player either. This is a guy who got suspended several times in the SHL for elbowing guys in the head, and he kind of did a similar kind of check to the head to Forbort last night, which is why Forbort was even really all that upset. I can understand why the guy's mad, just don't really think it was properly executed the way he tried to deal with it, but why do we go over onto the Instagram pages and start roasting the heck out of the guy and start, you know, going at him over and over and over again? The same thing happened on a national scale with Maxime Comtois after the World Juniors. Remember that? The Comtois penalty shot in that elimination game or whatever it was? I forgot. It was some time ago, but like, remember he was chosen for that penalty shot, he didn't score it or whatever happened, and Canadian fans just went ballistic on Comtois' Instagram comments? Like, of course, I don't want to make it seem like players and hockey players are immune from criticism, because they're definitely not. You're definitely fair to criticize people on their performance, but there's a difference between rationally doing that on social media and then just going over onto their profiles and then just trying to attack them with verbal comments. That's different, you know? They're not the same things. Me making a commentary-style video about what we're seeing here, or about the Canucks game yesterday where I'm kind of memeing on my favorite team, that's different from me going over onto their personal pages and attacking those guys. Sure, I don't want to make it seem like with this video I'm going to cause every Canucks fan out there to stop making weird comments on people's posts, but come on, man, we're better than this. This is why Canucks fans get called some of the worst and most toxic fans in the entire NHL, which, to be fair, I think we are kind of pretty toxic. It does happen all the time like that. It's just being a part of it and seeing it go down, you know, it feels really bad to see. So, you know what, that's it. That's a short video here. I don't even know why I wanted to make it. It's just because I had a thought about it and I wanted to talk about it here. Yeah, that's why I wanted to make it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Am I fair in criticizing Canucks fans for doing this stuff? Because I don't really think it's all that necessary. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video. /Rose99 and bye.